Welcome back to Biz Jet TV. It's Fab Poli here today, and we're going to be talking about the Jestons. But the Jestons are actually going to be starting in China, in the city of Guangzhou. They've just done a deal with a company called Ehang, which builds these drones which carry people. They've done a deal with DHL to carry packages, and they've done a deal with the city now to build a low-altitude aviation transport network. And they're going to be flying these automated drones which can carry 2 people around the city. Now this is a very, very interesting. The actual flying vehicle, or UAV as it's called, is around $335,000. It doesn't have a pilot, so it flies on its own. It's piloted by a form of artificial intelligence, which will take you from A to B. It carries 2 passengers. It doesn't have much of a range, about 6.5 miles or 8.8 kilometers. It's fully electric. It's got about 16 propellers, 2 seats, as I said. It's called the EH216. So very interesting. I think this is really going to change the way we fly, in particular with short distance, and it's going to change the way cities function. This has already been tested. It's done 1,000 hours of flight tests. So it does work. The AI does do a good job. There's also a US biotech company called United Therapeutics, which are looking at buying a number of these. This company they manufacture organs for human transplant. So their idea is to be able to put this product that they make into the EH216 and fly it from the laboratory to the hospital. And this would actually be quick. This is what they're going to do in the United States. But in Guangzhou, they're going to build this network, and so they're going to have quite a few of these flying around and flying people from A to B. And it's going to save them a lot of time. I think the big market that's going to be hit by this type of new technology is going to be the helicopter market. Helicopters, as you probably know, are very expensive machines. I think the design of the helicopter itself is flawed. Too many people I know have died or crashed a helicopter, in particular the back row to goes. And if you haven't seen the video I did about my friends that died in the Leicester City football club accident a few months ago, it's actually last year, you can see the link above. But getting back to the Ehang 216, I think the challenge is going to be are people going to be willing to get into a flying machine that's flown by a computer, basically, no human being? A lot of people are going to start thinking, what happens if this thing goes wrong? What happens if it gets hacked? What happens if it gets hit by lightning? These are all going to be questions which are going to put fear into people and stop people from flying. But I think that as we move into autonomous cars, where young people today, any kid of 5-6 years old today probably will not end up getting a driver's license, because cars will be driving themselves. So you just press a button on your phone, a car will come and pick you up and take you to school or take you to wherever you need to go. So people won't be able to need to learn to drive. And I think as this new generation get used to cars that drive themselves, they won't have a problem getting into a flying machine that flies itself. So I think that there'll be a few teething problems because of the psychology of the people. I think the technology is there. I'm curious to see what happens when something goes wrong, and how often things do go wrong, and when it does, what happens. Because no doubt a few of those incidents will happen. But this is definitely a technology that's here to stay. We're going to be seeing a lot of changes now in the way we travel, and for business people, it's going to be good because you may fly in with your private jet long distance to a city for a meeting, and then you sit in traffic for a couple of hours. Think of Los Angeles. The amount of traffic in Los Angeles when I was doing my flight training in LA, I was always flying over the 405, and it's just chock-a-block every morning. Imagine jumping in one of these things. You land in Van Nuys with your Gulfstream G5 from London, and you jump in one of these, and 20 minutes later you're in Santa Monica for a meeting. So it's going to really change, and I think a number of cities will come on board. Obviously, Ehang is not the only company that's making this kind of technology. There's others out there, but because of the deal they've done with the city of Guangzhou, I think this is going to be very interesting. It's going to be the first pilot city to do this in the world. So let's just have a quick a look at see how this develops, and we'll be covering this story in the next few months and here on Biz Jet TV. So post your comments below. I'd like to hear what you think about this. Would you get in one of these things? What's your take on this market? Is this, you think something's going to grow, something's going to develop? Do you think there's a market for a lot of them? Which cities in the world would actually be interested in this kind of thing? So ping your comments below. Let's get a conversation going. Share this video if you haven't done so already. And if you haven't subscribed, I encourage you to subscribe to Biz Jet TV. You've got a lot of good content on here, and a lot more good content coming as well in the next few weeks and months. That's all from Fab Poli of Biz Jet TV, and I'll see you on the next one.